Let's get you details of the NIA statement that's just been put out on their raids that have been conducted. They've said and confirmed that about a dozen suspects have been detained so far in the multi-state raids. 53 locations now across 7 states have been raided. Now, according to the NIA, arms and ammunition has also been seized from many of these locations. Remember, the Canada-based terrorist Khalistani-Gangster Lawrence Bishnoi are under the radar. Many of their aides have been identified. Searches are being conducted at these locations linked to these gangsters, to these Khalistani elements. Kamaljeet Sandhu is joining us with more details on this. Kamaljeet, good evening. What to you is the biggest takeaway really of the searches that have been conducted so far by the NIA?
You know, till this raid happened, 370 raids had already happened, and this has been going on for the past 1.5 years, a massive crackdown on the Khalistani elements. Now, what is also important and significant is the sort of association. So this is Khalistani terror networks mixed with gangsters, mixed with drug peddlers. So this is a modus operandi which has been working on demand and supply matrix. What we know is that the masterminds are sitting abroad in places like Canada, in Portugal, in Pakistan. These are the places they've been sitting on, and their foot soldiers, or for that matter, terror associates and peddlers are sitting in Punjab and the rest of the other places. They identify victims for extortion. They are the ones who actually lead to information. The arms are sent from the drones from across Pakistan, and that is where targeted killings have happened. In 2016, we saw a massive number of target killings of Hindu and Sikh leaders. Thereafter, we also know that the extortion has come down to a level where a person who's able to pay or not able to pay is not a matter of question. They identify, then they pressurize them by sending photographs of individuals and their families saying there would be a hit job, and under pressure they do pay up. What we also know is that incriminating amount of evidence in terms of arms, ammunition, their associates all being detained now. So this is part of a larger crackdown. So this is a multi-pronged strategy where the Indian government is not only sending dossiers abroad. So we've seen a sort of similar work happening in UK and United States, where they've asked them to crack down on the Khalistani elements. The other part is obviously in places like Canada, where they're finding it extremely difficult to make them work on these particular elements who have anti-India, hate India propaganda going on. But meanwhile, the sizable decision taken has been about cracking down on properties, seizing them, and effectively making them pay for it, to ensure that these conspiracies, which are sometimes hatched inside the jails, do not happen, and that these associates are also found out and put behind bars.
All right, Kamalji, thanks very much for getting us all of those details. Let's just highlight for our viewers where we really see these kind of searches taking place, because it gives you a sense of the Khalistani hubs currently in India. In Punjab, about 30 places have been identified where NIA conducted searches. Many of those who've been detained, the arms and ammunition that's been recovered largely has been from parts of Punjab. Then in neighbouring Rajasthan as well, 13 places have been raided. In Haryana, 4 locations that were identified. Now, it's largely, in fact, in this area that these Khalistani elements are deep-rooted. In Uttarakhand, 2 locations that were identified by the NIA where raids were held, and finally in Delhi and in Uttar Pradesh, 1 location in each of these states, you have raids that have taken place by the NIA. And while in their press release they've confirmed that many suspects have been detained, we'll await clearer details at this point on exactly what are the big takeaways of the NIA's crackdown on Khalistani elements.